Patrick's fans, welcome back to Caglianone's Corner. I'm here with head coach Lenny Caglianone. And Lenny, we've gotten through another weekend and yet another sweep, this time of the Elmira Aviators. Now, I want to talk a little bit about Tyler Spokane. Had back-to-back starts, back-to-back terrific nights. Tell us a little about his performance from your eyes.
Yeah, before we get started, obviously, I want to give a big shout out to one of my former teammates, national championship winner, North South alumni. Rudy works over at Barstool. A new untold story. Working on that podcast, just trying to help him out, get his work out there, and the rest of his crew. Awesome guy, awesome teammate, salt of the earth human being. Just want to give a big shout out to him, and hopefully this helps out, gives him a little boost. But going back to Spokane, I mean, just a crazy 2 games to throw out there from him. Just we don't shy away from the obvious here. It's been a little bit turbulent for him in regards to some of his consistency issues, but he found that consistency. I mean, two power play goals against on Saturday and 1 even strength, I believe, on Friday. Like, he was good. He was good, man. Like, happy for him. We were ecstatic for him. I think the locker room was, as well as myself and Dino. Like, just ecstatic. Happy to see someone find success and hopefully he runs with it. Like, that's all you could hope for, especially with the goaltending position. We talk about it all the time. It sucks. Tough to be a goalie, man. It really is.
And another guy to be happy for is Elkie, who had himself a weekend against his former team, picking up 2 goals and 3 assists. I mean, what was he like in the room?
It's tough because, like, again, I love Kai to death. I think Kai is extremely talented, and I think he has, an achievable and realistic ceiling that he could, get to at some point. But I probably was the hardest I've ever been on him this weekend, and he showed up on the score sheet. So, like, you gotta give someone the recognition when it's due. But we just talked about him talked to him about just some of his deficiencies, and I think they came out a little bit more, maybe because of the emotions and the circumstances. But ironically enough, like, yeah, he did produce, but I leaned on him pretty heavy. So I listen, at the end of the day, we have a certain standard here, and Kai being a top 6 guy, he's got to lead by example, right? So his game is looked over with a magnifying glass by his peers, and including myself and Dino. Like, it's a privilege to be in that top 6 and to perform there and get ice time over your teammates. Like, you have to justify it, and you have to, and on my end, you have to call guys out in the room like that. Sometimes when they're not performing, you got to balance the room out. But yeah, he took it well. Like, I think my relationship with the guys on the team is it's good, man. It's good. Like, they know when I need to lean in on them. Like, there's a respect factor there, and then there's also like that space where we could, be normal around each other. It doesn't have to be an authority figure or a coach and a player. It's just 2 guys who are here for the game. So he's great with it. He was good for the most part, but again, we want him to be the best he possibly can be.
And another guy that we have to recognize before I get some of the mental logistics of that weekend, Niko Tournas picking up a 6-point weekend, had a hat trick on Saturday, 2 goals on Friday. What was that like for you to see him kind of do that and just really kind of come to his own that weekend?
Yeah, I mean, again, he's another guy who's arguably one of our most consistent players, productive players. I think for him, like, we talk about it all the time with him. It's just like, listen, man, if you insert that physical presence into your game, like, it helps your play away from the puck, and it creates more time and space for you when you have the puck. And we've been hammering that with him. And it came out during the weekend, and it's not a surprise when he plays like that. He's able to produce like that. He's a big kid, right? He's 6'2". He's polarizing. You hear those skates coming at you on the ice, and with his frame, like you're gonna start to be aware of his presence, and it's so incredible because the conversations that him and I have are just, he's an '06, right? So like you're talking to someone at the end of the day who they're in their second year of junior hockey, and the IQ level of some of the conversations that I have with him are incredible, and he's so accountable. And to see him come out and just, there's that one piece that was missing, and he comes out and injects it into his game. Like I'm just happy for him, genuinely happy, and excited for him, because now he knows, like, hey, if I play like this, like the investment's there, I could produce at this rate.
And also for him, speaking on single season franchise records, Niko is only 3 goals away from breaking the single season record, which is currently held by Gabe Dombrowski, who had 25 goals back in the first, I believe, it's one of the first 2 seasons of this franchise. He's also a few points away from breaking the single season points record, also held by Dombrowski at 48 points. What does that kind of mean to you going into this weekend with Northeast?
Yeah, I think, like, for me, like, it's funny you say that. I was looking at that the other day. I think for me, it's something monumental, right? But I think we're all mature enough in that room, him especially, to understand, like, that doesn't mean anything right now. Doesn't mean anything to us. I don't think that's where our emotions or our mental are invested. It's, again, we talk about it. We've addressed it. We've made it a monumental box to check. It's just grabbing consistent wins and points. To be honest with you, knowing Niko, he probably has zero idea that's what type of kid he is. Like, I'm pretty sure he's probably on the ice this morning before we have practice. Like, he's just a rink rat. Pieces of paper don't matter to him, or accolades or anything like that. So, but I think for all of us, I think I could speak for the room, like, we're happy for him, but it's just not where we're at emotionally as well, too.
And now last weekend with the sweep, usually at home, it's been a struggle for us to kind of put 2 and 2 together to get both games in. The only sweep prior to that at home being against the Generals. What's kind of the mentality going into a Saturday game like that, where you just won big, 3 goals up from Elmira?
I think mentality-wise for us is just try to polish the things that you're deficient in. I think a lot of it comes from the tutelage of your authority, coaching staff. So usually when I'm in that situation, right, we won 1 and we're going into Saturday, we go back, we'll pick apart film, right, and just really try to focus in on a certain theme that I felt or feel can help us be a lot more effective, right? So that's what I try to dumb it down to. I don't think there's any, like, secret recipe, but I think it's just kind of targeted in on the most efficient thing, because you don't want to go in there and, like, micromanage. You don't want to try to say, hey, listen, we got to fix A to Z, when realistically it's you don't need to spend more time just talking about a couple things. Just focus in and hone in on one thing. So and it's just, again, it's the message, like, it's going to be tougher today, right? You got to think teams come out with piss and vinegar after they lose, especially on the road. So that first 10 minutes, that push that they're going to give is going to be the toughest one you'll see all weekend. But yeah, I thought our guys did a good job of managing emotions this weekend as well.
Now, heading into this weekend's series, we face the Generals for the 3rd out of 4 total series we have against them this season. It'll be the 2nd within a 3-week span. What's the mentality for that? I mean, the last time we were at home, you got to coach about 40 minutes of that series, and then certain things happened, but we still came out, got the sweep. What do we have to do? What do you think is the formula here to kind of repeat?
Yeah, I think for us, I think there's 2 different types of teams you're going to see take shape here over the course of the next 25 games, and it's going to be a situation where we're going to be able to play different styles when need be, and I think for us, like, we can run. and there's certain circumstances and games you got to let the boys run. And I think for us it's like the gens is just go play hockey, right? Just go play heavy, fast. Again, make mistakes fast, make them hard, and just really fall back on the systems. Like when we apply our systems, they work. And I know that's such a kosher answer, but we go over this every day. We do drills that are rooted in our ideologies that convert and help simulate and emulate situations in a game in a controlled setting, so that when we do go out there to the game setting in the uncontrolled setting, it's profitable, right? It helps us. And for us, like, we have our plan. Just we could run the 200 feet. We can do that as a team, and you've seen it. We're polished, right, when we want to be. And I think we got off to a little slow start the last time we played them at their barn on Friday. But the rebound on that, the collection of the players to just go out there and not invest and, like, all right, well, this is where we're at. Like, just we know what we need to do. It's just go out there. Let's run. We could do it, right? We could run. So we have a system. Just play the system. Just do what you're told. That's the plan.
Absolutely. And fans, you can catch us back here at the Danbury Ice Arena at 3:30 p.m. on Friday the 17th and 3 o'clock on Saturday the 18th as we host the Generals for the second time this season. Lenny, best of luck this weekend, and thank you for your time today.
Thank you.